Alright, looks like our little helpers there have finished up. Really quickly here, take a survey. Everybody's looking good with headsets and seat belts. How you doing back there, Cole? Doing good? Give me some skin. Bam. La 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 la. Well, everyone's looking ready to go pretty much here. We have just one item of business to discuss. There's a camera up here inside the helicopter looking back at your faces. If you saw the safety briefing video and you have no questions about it, if you don't mind giving a thumbs up towards that camera there. Awesome. I guess the only thing left for me to do here is introduce myself. Aloha. My name is Scott. I will be your pilot today. And what we're going to do is a big right-hand turn to get us away from the airport. Once we're outbound facing the volcano in that direction, about 2 minutes away, we'll get the microphones turned on. We'll talk about how to use those, and I'll kind of point out what our route of flight's going to be too. I'll show you where we're going to go from the sky. During the flight and sometimes here on the ground, you'll see my mouth move and not hear anything in the headset. That's very normal for me to talk to other pilots flying around us and air traffic control at the airport. So you'll see me do that quite a bit. I'll do that for about 30 seconds now and should be up in the sky here in about a minute once we get cleared to take off. Everyone's ready to go? Alright, let's get up there. Alright folks, we're going to need some better takeoff music. And away we go. Alright everyone, we are up and cruising now. As far as our first item of business goes, get those microphones turned on for you. There should be one microphone for every 2 people to pass back and forth and share. Just press and hold down the black button, bring it up right next to your mouth like a karaoke mic. That'll be a good way that you can talk to each other inside the helicopter, because it's loud and I'm deaf too, so the only way you'll be able to communicate with me if you want to talk to me is use those microphones. I should be able to hear you through the headsets. If you can hear yourself, then that means that everyone can hear you. How's everyone feeling so far now that we're up in the sky?
You!
Feeling good?
Fantastic.
Good. So actually, I noticed you noticing this farm here. Are you a little bit OCD like I am?
Maybe a little bit. I like
the rows, but I wish it looked like a checkerboard, right? Like it should all be uniform squares, all the same size. They're not even trying to hide that triangle right there. I fly over this every day and it makes me mad.
What kind of farm?
This is the Mauna Loa macadamia nut farm. That factory that we just passed by there on the right, Nina, that's where they make those cheap boxes of chocolate-covered macadamia nuts that are ruining my life right now. I'm right on the verge of a new addiction. Like, I need another vice, Nina. That's what my wife would say, anyway. If you haven't tried them yet, I highly recommend them. They're actually pretty good. They got a funny nickname on the island. If you go into a souvenir shop or a gift shop in town, and you're looking for chocolate-covered macadamia nuts, you'll see them sold under a different name that's not really work-appropriate. So I'm not going to say it, and you'll see why when you see it. But if you get really adventurous, try the spam-flavored macadamia nuts they make. Those are my dog Gizmo's favorite little treat. He loves them. You might too. I actually like pointing out that macadamia nut farm back there, actually. It kind of gives everybody a good idea where we're going. That macadamia nut farm back there sits on the boundary line between 2 of the 5 volcanoes that make up the island. This island's mass is made up of 5 different volcanoes called Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, Hualalai, Kohala, and Kilauea. And it's kind of hard to tell where one starts and another one ends, but you really can't step anywhere on this island without technically being on a volcano. So we just crossed over from Mauna Loa, and we're now onto the Kilauea volcano territory, which is pretty much the entire northeast side of the big island that you see out in front of us now. Now that we're on the world's most active volcano, I do want to point out disparagingly that there are about 9,000 homes out here. 9,000 homes reside in a place where this volcano has erupted 50 different times in the last 100 years in different places. Lost 5 towns on this side of the island to the volcano in recent years. 3 towns have burned down in the last 30 years. As far as our route of flight goes, I want to take you by a town that was evacuated this year. About 8 months ago, we had a town that was evacuated for lava flows for the 2nd time. It's called Pahoa. It's just off at our 1 o'clock right there. We'll be there in just a moment. We'll fly by the town of Pahoa. I want to tell you the story about that because it did make world news and people ask me about it all the time. But it's on our way up towards that smoking crater that you see off at our 3 o'clock now. That smoking crater is going to be our main point of interest today. On a nice day like today, I'll be able to fly you right up over the top of that thing so you can look straight down inside. As long as Ashley still thinks that's a good idea. It'll be a great flight. We've got no problems with the weather whatsoever. I can see everywhere we want to go. Once we're done checking out the volcano there, we'll be able to cruise on back towards town. We'll fly by some little waterfalls I know of before we bring it back to the airport and land. We'll pretty much make a big right-hand 360 around the big island. Around the northeast side of the big island anyway. Take us way too long to fly around the whole thing, but we could try.
It's crazy how stark this line is from homes to no homes.
It's, did you say creepy?
It's also creepy.
Yeah, I think it's more creepy. The reason it's creepy here, people often ask me too if they're able to get lava insurance for their homes. Depends on where you live on the volcano. So everyone on this side of this line of homes can still get lava insurance and volcano insurance for their property. Everyone on this side is denied. Because we've had so many towns burned down out here, and because it's such a dangerous area to live, not even Jake from State Farm is going to touch your policy out here. You're just kind of out of luck when it comes to insurance. For that reason, you'll see a dramatic drop in the value of homes and property. That just kind of goes along with this line right here. Everything on this side, you could probably get about an acre of Hawaiian land for about $8,000 raw, undeveloped. Average house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, sitting on an acre will probably run you about maybe $90,000 to $150,000, which is just crazy cheap for Hawaii, right?
So is that HPP over there?
I'm crazy!
I'm crazy too. This is Hawaiian Paradise Park. Yeah, this is HPP. So this is Highway 130 right here, and that drives you through Hawaiian Paradise Park. And that road will take you through Pahoa, on the left. And this is the way to get around to the eruption site by way of Kalapana, the town that was burned down in the 90s out here. Also a really good way to get out here to Kapoho tide pools, thermally heated tide pools. You can soak around and snorkel in like a natural jacuzzi. Lava Trees State Park is out here as well. Lots of fun things to do out here. This town itself is a really fun little town to go check out too. Pahoa is about 900 people. It's not a very big town, but it is one of the more popular towns on this side because it does have a very distinct bohemian naturalist kind of vibe to it. If you are a people watcher type of person, this is where you want to go. You can sit on a park bench in downtown and just watch all the lovely people walk by and you'll be entertained all day long.
So this was the new lava flow that's just from last year then?
Exactly, yeah. You can see the two fingers of doom stretching towards the town like they just want to take it out. We'll do a big turn. Right over here, Ian. We'll do a big right turn on the corner of the lava flow so everyone can see it.
Very cool.
Oh, and let me know how we're doing with air conditioning and stuff like that too. Sometimes we get crazy. This is the only place in my life where I actually have air conditioning, so I tend to overdo it. Let me know if you need me to turn it up or turn it down. So Ian, you mentioned you might have noticed these lava flows, probably in the news, maybe?
We live over in Kohala, so we had just
Oh,
moved
cool.
here, when it started flowing.
Oh, right on. So this is what everyone was talking about. I don't know if you got the smoke up that far, but man, this whole area right here just looked like Armageddon. I was lucky enough to be able to fly around it. We had to stay away about 2 miles, but you could see it really well. Even from upper areas of Hilo up on the hillside, looking down this direction, while this lava flow was moving, you could see these big puffs of smoke coming out from the advancing edge of the flow, glow of the lava coming off from the fires. This was when we had a drought, so the wildfires stretched all the way over here to an area called Ainaloa. They almost took out this part of town. Right there, Ian, you can see this kind of fire line that's kind of scratched out just on the edge of homes. That's how close the fires got. It was crazy. These lava flows started on the 27th of June last year.
Yeah, when we were looking for places, you'd see people say, "Oh yeah, safe for
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those things where you're like, oh, I'm gonna go move here, but at the same time, I'm trying not to get into the path of anything.
Right. Well, the path was cooking right for the town. You can see right here there were 2 stages of lava flows. The first one, it reached the town after about 4 months of burning through the forest. It got right there by those green buildings called the Pahoa Transfer Station. Kind of right out in front of us. That road it crossed right there is called Pa'a Street. It burned down all the power lines, melted the chain link fence around the city dump there, and set fire to the parking lot. So just now starting to clean up, I heard. The lava continued over town, covered a cemetery, and burned down a house just about 200 feet shy of Main Street in downtown Pahoa there.
Lava rocks are cool.
Lava rock is really, really cool. You know why I think this area of lava rock is cool, Cole?
Right.
Because this is one place on the planet where you could use that lame joke that you're older than dirt and actually be right. That is pretty weird. These lava flows directly below us, on this side, these ones are just barely 8 months old. This is without a doubt some of the youngest land created on the entire planet. And in some areas it's still hot. There are pockets of magma trapped below this crusty layer here that are still between 500 and 700 degrees Fahrenheit in some places. That's hot enough you could cook a DiGiorno pizza right on the surface, probably melt your slippers right off your feet to walk over it in some places. And really, I think that's wild. I look out at this lava flow here, and kind of like you were hinting at, you want to move out to Hawaii, enjoy paradise and all that kind of stuff. But on the Big Island, you are faced with the disadvantage of most likely you're going to have to live on an active volcano. You folks out there in Kohala, that's really the best decision in my opinion. You are living on a volcano, but it's dead. It hasn't erupted in 430,000 years. There are about 190,000 people living on this island, and most of the population live on the active volcanoes. There are 3. Hualalai lives on the Kona side. That one last erupted in 1801 and is expected to erupt again The Mauna Loa volcano reaches pretty much almost everywhere on the island, including Waikoloa, Kona, over here in Hilo, and that one last erupted in 1984. That's not that long ago. The Kilauea volcano is home to about 9,000, and it's, you know, one of the more dangerous areas in the world to live, in my opinion. To me, looking out at this lava flow is really just a not-so-gentle reminder of why I personally would so much rather live right smack on the top of Mount St. Helens than live on this side of the island sometimes. I say that because Mount St. Helens is a whole different kind of volcano, right? Mount St. Helens is called a stratovolcano, and those, they typically only erupt at the top. And at least there you have the advantage of knowing where it's going to happen. Out here in Hawaii, we have what are called shield volcanoes. And Kilauea is just a big shield volcano that's capable of having multiple eruption sites going at the same time on the same volcano. And because of these lava tube systems that run underneath the ground, like arteries and subway tunnels that run everywhere, you never know where it's safe to build your house because it can literally erupt anywhere. You might as well build your house at the top of the Kilauea volcano inside the Volcano National Park because only sometimes does it erupt there. A lot of times it erupts here at the halfway point. Sometimes it flows down into the ocean. Sometimes it flows for 14 miles like it did this year, right from the middle of nowhere into your back door. You never really know where it's safe. And that's kind of my point I'm trying to drive home, is that kind of an exciting place to live. It is a beautiful side of the island, though. So I understand why people move out here. I just question, whether or not I would ever feel safe, personally. I come from a place where the worst thing you had to worry about was snowstorms. In Utah, we'd have a big blizzard and everyone would freak out. Out here, a lot of these people, they waited until the lava was 200 feet out their back door before they finally packed up and moved. Some of them didn't even move at that point.
This is my last day here.
Well, we better make the most of it. Can we go fly over the volcano then?
Yeah.
Alright, buddy. I think we'll do that first. Now that we're here at the eruption site, we'll start heading up towards the point of origin here. But just fair warning about what we're going to do. As we fly around, we will be making stops at certain points, and every time we stop to check something out, we'll turn on both sides. Every time we do a left turn, I promise we'll always do a right turn as well. And if you're looking for anything on the ground that's hot, look for anything silvery and shiny and metallic looking, or fires. Holy cow, I see a fire down there, we better stop. Now, anything silvery and shiny, that's lava that's recent. Hot lava during the daylight hours looks really metallic and kind of silvery and shiny. Now, it's probably between 500 and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the shiny stuff. Anywhere you see orange, like we just caught a glimpse of there in the trees, that's about 2,000 degrees. That's hot enough you could blow glass and almost melt steel. These fires that you see in the tree line are caused by these slow-moving, active lava flows bleeding into the forest, burning down everything in their path. No big deal. You'll see the flickering yellow lights, those are the fires. Anything solid glowing orange, got a little glimpse of it down there, that's the hot lava.
Where's the point of origin from this flow?
It's the Pu'uo'o vent right up there. I'll take you there next. Don't worry, Cole and Ashley, I promise I won't make you stretch the whole time. I'm turning around.
Cole, look for red, okay? Anything red means it's lava.
This is good music.
Thanks, buddy. I picked it myself. Alright, you see where those trees are? Just off to the right of the trees. See that big orange smudge on the ground?
Yeah.
That's lava, buddy. The shadow's gonna pass over right now. You'll see it a little better. See it now?
Yeah.
Alright, now that you know what hot lava looks like, keep an eye out for it as we head up towards the point of origin of the eruption site. It breaks out in different places all over out here. In fact, it's been flowing lava in this area for 32 years and it hasn't stopped. This eruption site started on January 3rd, 1983, and it has not stopped since then. In 32 years, it's burned down 54 square miles of rainforest, covered 8.5 miles of public road. It's destroyed hundreds of homes, 2.5 different towns, and it's added more than 500 acres of new land to this island. This is the longest lasting volcanic eruption in all of known history anywhere in the world. And when it began, it was just a hole in the ground. From when it started as just a hole in the ground, after about 3 years it formed this cone that you see out in front of us. And this is called the Pu'u'o'o vent. It's technically an active cinder cone, about halfway down the Kilauea volcano. This is where the eruption began, by way of spreading the magma under the ground through lava tubes most of the time. Most of the magma on the Kilauea volcano is moving under the ground in these tunnels. Now you've probably noticed people talking about fog and volcanic pollution and stuff, and this is where a lot of it comes from. We get about 200,000 tons of it pumped out of the Pu'u'o'o vent every day. We'll avoid that. You kind of have to look through the haze and the volcanic pollution there. And sometimes, Andrew, I'll see these little orange dots down there. Those little orange dots are holes called skylights. Those skylights are like windows looking down at the lake of magma below the thin crust. Let me know if you see any.
Is that the research station up there?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of equipment set up around the volcano in different places. The volcanologists don't like coming out here on foot, so they've got their research station set up so they can monitor it remotely. Actually, kind of on this side of the crater on the far side there, you see that orange? Where I generally see that skylight. Bring it around, might be able to see it a little better from this side. So that's like a window looking down into that lake of magma below that thin crust inside the crater's bowl. You can tell that's not a place you'd want to go walking around. It's really thin. Kind of like gravy left on the table overnight that gets that thin skin on the top. What the top of that crater's like.
Was that a dirt pile back there?
It's a lava pile. You see it splashed inside that big hole there? That looked like a jacuzzi. As we're coming around, you'll see not just the main crater, but there's this big, round, deep hole on the side. Looks like it had something splashing in it. The fog's blowing right over it. I'll try and fly by it again. Right here, inside that big round hole there.
Was it burning?
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke coming out of there, huh? Yeah, see, the fog's blowing right over it. But kind of through the smoke, you can see it splash a little bit.
You can see a lot more red down there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's blowing down there.
That dang smoke's blowing right over it, though. Oh, here we go. Now maybe you'll see it in a little better. Oh, yeah, there you go, Ian. So inside that hole. Pretty cool, huh? I see some smoke coming from this area over here. I want to go check it out. So that's where all the magma's coming from at this eruption site. You can kind of see this line of smoke and steam that snakes around this direction. That's the active lava tube bringing all the magma, draining it from there out towards this area. Now, unfortunately, this is leading towards all the homes, so it's not exactly the most ideal situation. Every once in a while, the pressure will build up in these tubes.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, the pressure gets high, and eventually it has to bring a little bit up on the surface like this. I see a big flow right there. It's a good one, Cole. Look at that.
I see a little white.
Yeah, you see the bright orange in the ground there? Now this right here is a good example of a pahoehoe lava flow. There are two kinds of lava, pahoehoe and aa. The pahoehoe comes out of the ground like this, like warm honey. It can flow as fast as 35 miles an hour.
I hate honey.
You do?
Little hole there.
Yeah, you see that little orange hole? Now when this stuff cools, it'll puddle up on the ground, it'll rise like bread dough. It actually inflates about 25 feet before it cools a lot of times. And then it'll crack and it'll look like burned chocolate brownies when it's done. Or elephant skin. That's the smoother kind of lava, the pahoehoe. The other kind of lava you'll see out here is called aa. The aa lava comes out of the ground like taffy. Really thick. I knew it. I made you too cold. My bad. Oh, made you too hot. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn it up. There you go. So the aa lava comes out of the ground like taffy. And when that stuff cools, it's really rocky and sharp, kind of chunky looking and very coarse. You'll see a lot more of that over on the Waikoloa Kona side when you're doing your Costco runs.
I can't feel the air conditioner.
Oh, you got these vents up above your head. Go give them a twist. It'll open it up, cool you off. Everybody get a chance to see the lava flow? Now I have to point out that showing a lava flow like that to me is probably one of the coolest things I'll ever do in my life. Because I really do see a really unique kind of paradox to that. On one hand, you can't deny that looking at a lava flow puts this image in your mind that you really are looking at the most destructive thing Mother Nature has, right? It's burned down this entire area of forest all around us, made us feel like we're flying over Mordor out of Lord of the Rings. Like the Eye of Sauron's going to start blinking at us out here or something like that. But at the same time, keep in mind you are looking at the birth of the youngest land on the entire planet happening right before your eyes. That's an amazing thing. Really beautiful too, if you think about it.
I saw something cool back there.
What'd you see?
Like, so there was like the hole, and then there was a little hole of smoke.
Yeah. You can tell if it's smoking, it must be hot. Definitely not an area you want to come out walking around here either. And as you're looking down at these flows here too, you might think they might be some of the ugliest land in the entire world. Look like it might never grow anything beautiful ever again, but the truth is, it's incredibly fertile. And within maybe 3 to 5 years, it starts to regrow plants. Within 100 years, it could easily look like nothing ever happened out there. Pretty amazing how quickly everything grows back on this side of the island.
What about the volcano?
It grows back really fast too, but the problem is it's so active it keeps burning itself down. So you don't really get a chance to see the healing very often because it keeps hurting itself.
I was talking about looking at it.
Yeah, that was cool, huh? What about some waterfalls? You want to go look at waterfalls now, Cole?
Yes.
Alright, buddy. Co-pilot says go. I know I got kind of excited back there and did a lot of turns. Is everyone still in the mood to go see waterfalls?
Absolutely, man.
Alright. Well, we'll start heading towards the waterfalls now then, if everyone's filling up for it. Just about another 5 or 6 minutes away in this direction, there's a little cluster of waterfalls just on the side of town called the Upper Wailuku Falls that we're allowed to go fly around. We're going to fly through the airspace to get there though, so I'll turn the microphones off for just a minute, get in touch with air traffic control, get permission to go there. Meantime, just enjoy the music, enjoy the sights, and we'll be at some waterfalls here shortly.